Hey guys! This video is sort of an update, reply video to that one video I made a little while back about me trying out for a play. So I did try out for the play, and I tried out for the part of Gladys and the part of Mr. Hasler. And during the audition, like, my audition went okay. It wasn't extremely good, like, I could have done better, but it wasn't extremely bad either. And I think I did pretty well. I didn't get like super nervous. I didn't expect to get as nervous as I got, but I didn't get like so nervous that it made me mess up more than I would have anyway. I did kind of hit a few wrong notes on one of my songs, and I just skipped a line in one of my monologues, but I don't think it was like that important of a line. So I did get a part. I am in the non-singing chorus. The non-dancing chorus, which means that all I do basically is sing. I have a feeling that says something to do with this right here, although it will be pink later, unless they say I can't change it. So I don't know if I'll be like backstage singing or if I'll be a seamstress that doesn't dance and just sort of does stuff with our hands or what. We've only done the read through of Act 1 so far, but that does mean that I'll be having practices after school pretty much every day. So I will be posting less often than I have been. So you guys had a really bunch of videos in December, like almost every day. So, like, if you get bored in the next 3 months, January, February, and March, because the play is in March, if you want to come see, then private message me and I will be like, yes, come see. Um, uh, I'll be having practices after school pretty much every day, and then homework and stuff, like irregular stuff. So if I make any like ahead of time videos, it's gonna be like if I have free time on weekends and stuff. So I'll have way less posting than I have been. So I'm sorry about that, but I will do my best to try and post regularly-ish, say once a month. How does that sound? I don't know. But yeah, so that's how that went. And in other news, my English teacher was like, hey, do you want to do some writing contests? And I was like, sure, that sounds like a cool idea when I have time, because I didn't have a ton of time recently. But that sounds like a cool idea. So she emailed me a bunch of links to writing contest websites, and I'm going to go and look at them now and then come back and review them for you, and the links to all those websites will be in the description of this video. So the first site is a site called Rattle, and Rattle, Rattle, like rattling, the baby has it, and it's a young poets anthology. So you can write a poem and then submit it. This one says that you have to have written the poem when you were 16 or younger, and to be the person that wrote it, like, you can't submit it unless you're 18 or younger. So if you're an adult, I'm sorry. And this ends on June 15th, 2018, but you can send in poetry and stuff, and then it can be added to a book if they like it. So that is a cool thing. Yes, poetry. I like poetry. Poetry's fun. So the second site is Canvas Literary Journal, and they are accepting submissions from people 13 through 18 with multiple categories. I'm just going to sort of, summarize these because there's a lot of them. Their winter 2017 submission time is over, but I think they do one like seasonally, so like a summer and a winter one, or maybe spring, summer, fall, winter. I don't know, but there's you can able to subscribe, and it's published quarterly. Okay, so that's 4 seasons in print, ebook, web video, and audio formats. So if you are able to get into that, that would be really cool, because a lot of stuff, people can read your stuff. And I'm pretty sure this involves like both poetry and stories, but I don't know. Then there's one called Jet Fuel Review, which is another literary journal. I think a lot of these are like literary journals that you can like get your work submitted to and then get that published, and that would be really cool and awesome if I could do that, if I had anything that was actually finished. And I don't know if this is for like all ages or for just teens. The article says that it's run through Lewis University, and it's run entirely by students under the supervision of some faculty advisors. So, like I said, links to these sites will be in the description, and then you can like go and look at them and find the more in-depth information that I didn't really give that much of. But yeah. This one is basically it's on onestory.com, but then there's a section that's one teen story because it's for teens. And to enter that one teen story, you have to be 13 to 19, and it's a literary magazine that features the work of today's best teen writers. So I think you can submit to it, and then it sends out an issue with one or two like full stories in it. It says, but I don't remember. So you can submit and subscribe to get the other people's and see what cool stuff is going on. And then there's also one story. So the one teen stories are now going to the one story magazine as well, because there's two, and like one story is for like all ages or adults, and the one teen story is just like teenagers are allowed to submit. The next one is the Claremont Review, and just sort of their homepage looks super professional. Not that any of these others didn't, but this one is just like professionalism. And it says the Claremont Review publishes youth writers and artists aged 13 to 19 from Canada and across the globe. They accept poetry, short stories, and visual art, and they take our art seriously. And it really looks like they do. Visual art would be kind of cool for submission, like a giraffe. I do a little bit of that. Hopefully in a future video I'll be able to show you. I'm really trying to fill my sketchbook up so I can show you, because I've got like 3 pages left and then I'll be done. This one is an actual contest. It's the Nancy Thorpe Poetry Contest. For this year it's ended, but next year I think it goes every year. And it is a contest for sophomore and junior young women, which sounds really cool, and I kind of want to do that. And it's sponsored by Hollins University, and one of the first place prizes is free tuition and housing for the university's Hollins Summer Creative Writing Program, which sounds really cool, and I don't know where that college is, but I kind of want to do that. Also, a $200 cash prize and publication in Cargo's Hollins award-winning student literary magazine, and 10 copies of Cargo's. That's first place. And then second place, there's only one winner for first place. Second place, there's 6 winners, and they will get $25 cash prize, publication in Cargo's, and 2 copies of Cargo's. That sounds really fun. I want to do that. And like, if you want to do any of these, you don't have to do all of them. You don't have to do any of them, and you can just sort of do them whenever you feel like. I don't know if some of them just don't happen, but I think most of these happen like multiple times a year or once every year. So if you don't get something in one year, that's okay. You can do it later. Like this year it's over, but I'm only a sophomore, so next year I can do it too. And I'm like, yes, we've got something. We're gonna do this. Yeah. So this is the National Young Arts Foundation, and it says like basically on the front page of this is, are you a 15 to 18-year-old writer? Apply to Young Arts National Arts Competition. Applications open spring 2018. Which sounds like a cool thing for me, because like I want to do that. And you were allowed to submit a novel. So yeah. The novel that you submit, you can't submit all of it. You have to submit like the first 20 pages and then a synopsis, and they will decide if you are good enough or not. And then I don't know what they do if you win or not. I didn't get that far, but it sounds really cool. Y'all should do that if you want to do that. So this next one I can't enter because I don't live in the required states. I can't enter, but it's the Glasner Creative Writing Contest, and it's for the Santa Fe University of Art and Design. To enter, you must be from Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, or Texas, like a legal resident, and you have to be a high school senior. And then you can submit no later than December 18th. So for this year, I think it's over. Well, not quite over, but I think it is. But there's more rules and stuff. But it sounds really cool, and I should do that. And if I lived in one of those places, I would do that. I don't, however. And to get there, you could just go to their like Santa Fe University of Arts and Design's like homepage, and then go to Home Academics Creative Writing and Literature / Glasner Creative Writing Contest. So yeah. This one is the Critical Pass Review, and it's the Junior Poets Contest for students between the ages of 13 and 18. And you're allowed to like submit your work and then rework it. And if people are like, you should change this before the deadline, then you can change that and go back in and stuff until the actual deadline, which I don't know when it is, but yeah. There's a lot of stuff on here, so that there's like some things that are for like poetry and some things that are for like just regular writing, and then there's some nonfiction and some like play and scene writing. That's cool too. The Interlochen review, from what I've just sort of looked at, seems like a sort of online magazine kind of thing, and it accepts poetry, fiction, nonfiction, screenplays, hybrid interviews, visual art, and visual art portfolios, which sounds really interesting. And when I have like time to do stuff, I am definitely going to go through all these things and read them to get inspiration and be like, that sounds cool. I'm going to do something that's my own original idea that borrows like this tiny thing from yours. Then there is the Adroit Journal, which the submissions are over for this year, but it accepts both poetry and prose, and you can be in either high school or college. It says the Adroit prizes are awarded annually to 2 students of secondary or undergraduate status whose written work inspires the masses to believe beyond feeling the work. In other words, we strive to receive the absolute best work from emerging young writers in high school and college, and the best of the best will receive these 2 lovely awards, which I haven't read what they are, but they're probably pretty great because colleges give you good stuff if you're cool. The last one is Hanging Loops Press, and they would like some high school submissions. So you will send your work to the high school editor, and then there's an address, and then you send a note identifying yourself as a high school age writer and telling your name, including an email address and a self-addressed stamped envelope with sufficient return postage so they can send your submission back. Then you can send up to 6 poems or short stories or an equivalent combination of poetry and prose. I wish they put like a word limit. Maybe they do if you go into it more, because short story for me is really long. And then they says, we prefer to receive submissions from young writers themselves rather than from teachers or relatives. We strongly discourage teachers from submitting samples of work from members of their class. Similarly, we discourage teachers from asking students to submit their work as a class assignment. We prefer teachers to encourage students who take themselves seriously as writers to write us directly, which is cool because that means that my teacher thinks that I take myself seriously as a writer, which not sure what that means, but I probably do. Yay! Okay, so I should go get writing, and y'all should do that too. So click on one of the links. They may not be links, they may be things that you have to highlight and copy and paste into your search bar, but is that super hard? I don't think so. And check out some of these things and get your writing brain on and make some cool art. Also, have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!